You're standing at a point where you know you need a change, but you're not sure how to make it stick. Have you ever felt the weight of unfinished goals pressing down on you the moment you open your eyes? Can you imagine what it would feel like to end each day knowing you moved closer to the person you want to be? In this video, you'll discover a clear plan to push yourself, track real progress, and build habits that last. You'll learn simple steps to cut distractions, face your fears head on, and set up every morning for success. I'll share real examples of people who leaned into discomfort and changed their lives one day at a time. By the end, you'll have the tools to break free from old patterns and start owning your growth right now. Stay with me, because the path to working hard on yourself begins in the next few minutes. Number 1, take full control of your thoughts every morning. You wake up every morning with 2 invisible hands pulling you. One tries to lift you into the day with purpose. The other tries to drag you back into comfort, distraction, and doubt. Most people lose this battle before they even realize they were in one, and that's why they stay stuck. They leave their life on autopilot. But if you're watching this, I need you to understand something. Your mind doesn't just shape your day, it shapes your future. It shapes your identity. And the person you become will be the result of how you think the moment you open your eyes. The first few minutes of your morning are not just moments, they're the starting point of your momentum. And if you don't claim those moments, the world will. That phone sitting next to your bed will. The news will. The past will. Other people's opinions will. But not you. Not anymore. You want to grow. You want to change. You want to break through the version of yourself that keeps holding you back. That doesn't happen by accident. That doesn't happen by chance. That happens when you take full control of your thoughts every single morning. Before you touch anything. Before you check anything. Before you speak to anyone, you stop and you speak to yourself. You look yourself in the mirror and remind yourself who is responsible for your life. You are. Not the economy, not your family, not your boss, not your past. You get to choose what thoughts enter your mind, and you get to choose what thoughts get to stay. That is your power. But you've got to claim it. Most people don't even try. They wake up and start reacting. They scroll, they complain, they rush. They worry. They let the noise in before they even hear their own voice. And then they wonder why they feel lost, why they feel tired, why they can't stay focused, why the day feels like it's controlling them. Because it is. If you don't take control of your thoughts, someone else will. And most of the time, it's not going to be someone who wants the best for you. It's going to be the voice that doubts you. It's going to be the voice that says you're not ready. It's going to be the habits that whisper, just 5 more minutes. It's going to be the same old routine that kept you stuck yesterday. You've got to interrupt that. You've got to break that pattern with strength. That means as soon as you wake up, you train your mind to serve you, not the other way around. What do I mean by that? I mean you decide what you think. You decide what you focus on. You decide what story you believe. If the first thought in your mind is, I'm tired, you change it. If it's, I don't feel like doing this, you face it. If it's, I'll never make it, you challenge it. You don't ignore it. You don't run from it. You confront it, because that's the only way you take your power back. This is not some game. This is your life. And it starts in your head. You've got goals. You've got dreams. You've got potential. But you can't access any of it if you let your thoughts work against you. Every time you tell yourself you can't, you put a wall between you and the future you want. Every time you doubt yourself, you slow down the work. Every time you tell yourself, maybe later, you delay the life you could already be building. So what do? You build a plan. A personal development plan that starts with one simple thing. Mastering your thoughts the second you wake up, not 10 minutes later. Not after coffee. Not after emails. Right now, as your eyes open. That is your time. That is your battleground. The best in the world don't just start their day with motivation. They start with intention. They know what kind of person they want to be. They know what kind of life they want to build. And they start directing their mind before the world distracts it. You've got to do the same. Start with one question. What kind of person am I becoming? That question will shape your choices. It will shape your focus. It will shape your entire life. Then ask yourself another question. What do I need to think today to become that person? Not what you feel like thinking. What you need to think. You don't feel your way into growth. You lead your mind there. and you do it on purpose. So maybe today you need to think, I am stronger than my excuses. Maybe it's, I will follow through on my commitments. Maybe it's, no more waiting, I act now. The words don't have to be fancy. They have to be real. They have to be true. And they have to be yours. That is how you train your mind to work for you. And yes, it takes effort. And yes, it feels uncomfortable at first. But think about the alternative, living the same year over and over. Feeling like your best self is always out of reach. Waking up one day realizing you never gave yourself a chance. You were made for more than that. You were made to win the battle in your mind. You were made to choose the thoughts that push you, not the ones that poison you. But that's not going to happen just because you want it. It happens when you start doing it. Daily, repeatedly, consistently. Especially on the days you don't feel like it. Those are the days that define you. Those are the days that separate the people who talk about changing from the people who do it. And you're here because you're ready to do it. So tomorrow morning, don't hit snooze. Don't grab your phone. Don't roll into the day without direction. Wake up and win the first moment. Take 5 minutes. Stand up. Breathe. Think clearly. Say out loud what kind of person you are. Speak strength over your day. Remind yourself why you're doing this. Remind yourself that you are not the same person you used to be. You are becoming someone better. Not for applause, not for approval, but because you owe it to yourself. Nobody's going to do this for you. And that's a good thing. Because when you earn your growth, no one can take it from you. So take control of your thoughts. Own your mornings. Guard your mind like your future depends on it. Because it does. This is where personal development truly begins. Not in a book. Not in a course, not in a goal, but in your head. The moment you decide, I'm not thinking the same way anymore, that's when your life starts to shift. Because everything starts with the mind, your actions, your choices, your discipline, your standards, your results. It all flows from how you think. And if you start the day with strength, the rest of the day follows. That's the strategy. That's the plan. That's the life. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. So stop waiting for a better mindset to show up. Build it. Every morning, without fail. This is your time. This is your season. And it begins with you deciding that the most powerful thing you can control every day is the very first thought you choose to believe. Now rise up. Do it on purpose. And don't stop until you become everything you were meant to be. Number 2. Cut out all time-wasting habits starting today. You're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because you keep wasting your time on things that don't matter. And if you don't fix that today, you're going to look back a year from now with nothing changed. Still frustrated, still behind, still wondering why your life feels stuck. You see, the most dangerous habits are not the ones that destroy you overnight. The most dangerous habits are the ones that quietly steal your time, your focus, and your energy while you're too distracted to notice. They feel small, they feel harmless, but they're not. They are costing you your future. Every single person has 24 hours. Nobody gets more. What separates those who rise from those who stay the same is not luck, not talent, not connections. It's how they spend their time. That's it. That's the truth. Most people don't want to hear, but I'll tell you because you need to hear it. Because I don't want you to waste another day. I don't want you to waste another year telling yourself you'll change soon. If you want to grow, you've got to stop lying to yourself about where your time is going. And it starts by being brutally honest. Look at your day, not with excuses, not with justifications. Look at it with real clarity. How much time do you spend scrolling? How much time do you spend talking about your goals instead of working on them? How much time do you spend doing things that lead nowhere, help no one, and build nothing? That's where the truth hits. That's where the change begins. You can't fix what you won't face. And if you don't see your time-wasting habits for what they are, they will quietly destroy your potential. Now, I want you to imagine something. Picture the person you could become if every single wasted hour turned into progress. Picture the strength you'd build, the confidence you'd grow, the skills you'd master. It's not a fantasy. It's not unreachable. It's the life you could be living starting today, but only if you decide. And I mean really decide, not just I'll try, not just I'll see what happens. No, I mean you cut it out. You stop wasting time like your life depends on it. because it does. Time is not a renewable resource. You don't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And the clock doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't pause when you're tired. It doesn't slow down when you're confused. It keeps moving. And if you don't move with it, you get left behind. So what do you need to cut? Maybe it's endless scrolling. Maybe it's watching hours of videos that give you zero growth. Maybe it's pointless gossip, gaming, or binge watching shows you won't even remember in a week. Maybe it's overthinking every decision and calling it planning. Maybe it's spending too much time trying to be perfect instead of being productive. Whatever it is, cut it out. Today, not tomorrow, not next month, right now. Because your habits are either building your future or breaking it. There is no neutral. And don't tell yourself it's just a little. Don't convince yourself it's harmless. Add it up. 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. An hour of relaxing that turns into half a day of avoidance. You do that every day. And that's your life slipping through your fingers, quietly, slowly, without a sound. People will tell you to relax, to enjoy life, to not be so hard on yourself. And sure, rest is important, but wasting time isn't rest. It's denial. It's hiding. It's putting off the hard work of becoming who you know you're meant to be. You want results. You want to feel proud. You want your life to change. Then do something about it. Start cutting. Make a list. Not in your head. Write it down. What are the habits that waste your time? Be specific. Be ruthless. This is not the time to be soft. This is the time to be real. Look at every habit. Ask one question. Does this move me forward? If the answer is no, cut it. And don't wait to feel ready. You'll never feel ready. You'll always feel like doing it later. But later has stolen more dreams than failure ever could. You've got to build your own urgency. The truth is, nobody's coming to save your time. Nobody's going to rescue your schedule. Nobody's going to stand over you and say, hey, stop wasting your life. That's your job. That's your responsibility. And you can start simple. Start with the first hour of your day. Guard it. Use it. Don't let distractions in. Don't let comfort win. Set a plan. Choose 3 things you'll get done. Stick to them. Train your brain to work even when you don't feel like it. Then cut the dead hours. You know the ones. The hours that vanish with nothing to show. Replace them with actions that build momentum. Read, learn, build something, fix something, improve something. Take care of your body. Train your mind. Serve someone. Move. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to stop wasting time on things that don't help you grow. The results will come. The confidence will grow. The clarity will follow. But only after the discipline. The discipline to say no to what feels easy. The discipline to say yes to what feels right. You will feel resistance. That's normal. Your brain wants comfort. It doesn't care about growth. It wants the path of least resistance. That's why most people stay average. Because comfort is easier than confrontation. But you are not most people. You are someone who wants more from life. And more doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who work. It comes to those who cut the excuses, cut the distractions, and cut the time wasters. And look, this is not about being busy. It's about being intentional. You can be busy all day and still get nowhere. But if you use your time with purpose, you will move mountains. Cutting out time-wasting habits is not about punishment. It's about freedom. Freedom from regret. Freedom from being stuck. Freedom from looking back and wishing you had done something different. You want more freedom in life. Master your time. And that starts with cutting what doesn't matter. If you're serious about your future, your schedule needs to reflect it. If your calendar is filled with distractions, don't expect your life to be filled with progress. Be the person who takes action. Be the person who values time more than attention. Be the person who builds discipline like it's oxygen. You know what's holding you back. You've always known. It's not the world. It's not the system. It's not your past. It's the small daily decisions you keep avoiding. But now you know better. And once you know better, you do better. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for motivation. You don't wait for life to get easier. You act. That's how you change your life. That's how you start winning. That's how you earn respect for yourself. By cutting out everything that weakens you. You are not here to waste this life. You are not here to coast. You are not here to survive each day. You are here to grow, to build, to become someone you're proud of. And that starts now. So stop giving your time away to people and things that don't help you rise. Stop feeding the habits that hold you down. Stop thinking small, living slow, and waiting for something to change. You are the change. Cut out the time-wasting habits. Build the mindset that serves your mission. Start showing up like someone who means it. Because if you do that every single day, your future won't just improve, it'll transform. And when people ask how you did it, you won't have to say much. You'll know. You simply stopped wasting time and started living like your life depended on it. Number 3, build a routine that challenges your limits daily. Most people wake up each day just trying to get by, while the few who grow stronger every day are the ones who wake up with a plan to challenge themselves. If you want to change your life, you need a routine that forces you to grow, not one that keeps you comfortable. Comfort is where progress goes to die. You don't get stronger by doing what's easy. You get stronger by doing what's necessary. You get stronger by setting up your day in a way that demands more from you, physically, mentally, emotionally, not once in a while, every single day. That's how transformation happens. And here's the truth. Nothing will change for you until you start building your life around growth instead of around convenience. Most people wait for motivation. Most people wait to feel ready. And while they're waiting, someone else is training. Someone else is building. Someone else is pushing past the same excuses you keep entertaining. The people who rise are not the ones with the best conditions. They're the ones with the best routines. They don't wing it. They don't guess. They set the tone from the second they open their eyes. They take control of their time, their thoughts, their effort, and they build a structure that forces them to become more than they were yesterday. A routine that challenges you is not about doing more. It's about doing what makes you better. Look at your current routine. Be honest with yourself. Does it stretch you? Does it push you to your edge? Does it make you uncomfortable in a way that builds resilience? Or is it soft, predictable, full of habits that feel good but leave you empty? The days you feel tired, that's when it counts. The days you feel stuck, that's when you show up harder. You don't need perfect energy. You don't need to feel inspired. You need to decide that your growth matters more than your comfort every single day. And that's why your routine matters. Because discipline is not something you find, it's something you build. And routines are the framework where discipline grows. You want more strength? Put it in the routine. You want more confidence? Build it into your actions. You want clarity, purpose, drive? Carve it into the habits you repeat every day. Here's what most people miss. Growth isn't something you stumble into. You build it, you structure it, you schedule it. If you leave your day to chance, your life will be ruled by distractions. If you don't plan your hours, you will spend your energy reacting instead of creating. And if you don't create challenge on purpose, life will challenge you in ways you're not ready for. So what does a routine that challenges your limits look like? It looks like waking up with a plan to win, not a plan to survive, not a plan to coast, a plan to dominate your own doubts, your own laziness, your own hesitation. It means setting clear targets for your day, not to impress anybody, but to outgrow who you were yesterday. That means your morning needs to be intentional. Don't just wake up and scroll. Wake up and move. Wake up and think. Wake up and decide what kind of person you're going to be. Then act like it. Your routine needs time for physical challenge. You've got to move your body in a way that demands effort. Because when you train your body to go further than it wants, you train your mind to stop listening to weakness. You need mental training. That means reading. That means reading. That means sitting in silence and thinking through your life with clarity and honesty. You want strength? Then stop running from your own thoughts. Face them, shape them, direct them. You also need time to execute, to build something real. Whether it's a business, a skill, a side project, a relationship, do something that produces value, and do it even when it's not fun. That's how you separate yourself from the masses. Most people only act when it feels good. You act because you said you would. A strong routine isn't rigid. It's not about controlling every second. It's about making sure the right things get done, even when life throws punches. And make no mistake, life will throw punches. That's why you need the routine. So when life hits, you don't fall apart. You lean on your habits. You fall back on your structure. You don't spiral, you execute. Building this kind of routine is not easy, but it's necessary. Because your mind wants the path of least resistance. It wants comfort. It wants shortcuts. But comfort never made anyone great. Shortcuts never built character. You've got to want the challenge. You've got to crave the stretch. You've got to love the feeling of being tested. Because that's how you grow into someone who can handle more, lead more, become more. And you've got to show up for it every day. One skipped day turns into two. One excuse becomes a lifestyle. But one day of effort, one day of pushing past your limits, that builds pride, that builds momentum, that builds you. You don't need to do everything at once. Start small. But whatever you do, make it hard enough to matter. Pick one area, your fitness, your focus, your skill, your discipline, and push further than you normally would. Track it, measure it, improve it. Keep going until it becomes normal. Then push further. You don't rise by doing what's expected. You rise by doing what others won't. You rise by building a schedule that demands more than average. And I promise you, there's a part of you that's hungry for this. A part of you that's tired of living soft. A part of you that wants to be proud, not just comfortable. Listen to that part. You want to become powerful. Then every day has to be a challenge that builds you. You want to stop doubting yourself. Then start proving to yourself that you can follow through on what you say. You want more energy. Then use your energy in ways that fuel you, not drain you. You want purpose. Then live like your actions matter, because they do. And when it gets hard, and it will, you remind yourself this is what growth feels like. Not easy, not convenient, but worth it. When you build a routine that challenges your limits, you don't just become more productive. You become more powerful. You don't just get more done. You become the kind of person who doesn't flinch at resistance, who doesn't collapse under pressure, who knows how to stand tall when others would break. That version of you is waiting, but it's not going to show up on its own. You've got to earn it every day, through discipline, through structure, through effort. This is not just about achieving goals. This is about becoming someone you respect, someone who walks into the day with intention, someone who doesn't run from pressure, but walks straight into it. Someone who knows, if I can win this day, I can win this life. You want real change? Then stop hoping for it. Start structuring it. Wake up and build a routine that forces you to grow. Stick with it even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable, because that's when it's working. Don't wait. Don't plan forever. Start building today. One action, one block of time, one new standard for yourself. And when you start feeling resistance, don't back off. That's the moment you push harder. That's the moment you become who you were meant to be. Because once you build that kind of routine, once you live in challenge every day, once you start growing stronger by design, everything in your life begins to rise with you. And one day, you'll look back at the person you used to be, the one who stayed in comfort, and you'll realize that version of you is long gone, because you chose growth. Because you chose effort, because you chose to live on purpose. And now you're unrecognizable, in the best way possible. So here's the challenge. Start today. Build a routine that challenges your limits, and never look back. Number 4. Speak honestly with yourself about your weaknesses. You will never grow if you keep lying to yourself about where you're weak. You can dress it up, ignore it, distract yourself, or convince the world you're fine. But deep down, you know exactly where you're falling short. And until you face that truth with brutal honesty, nothing will change. Let's be real. Most people would rather comfort themselves with a lie than confront themselves with the truth. But comfort never built greatness. Avoidance never created strength. And pretending doesn't make you powerful. It makes you fragile. It robs you of your potential before you even begin. The strongest people you know, the ones who seem unshakable, aren't strong because they've never failed. They're strong because they've faced every flaw, every shortcoming, every piece of themselves that most people hide from, and they've done the hard work to change it. That takes more courage than most people are willing to develop. It takes humility, discipline, and the willingness to look at yourself in the mirror and admit, I am not who I could be yet. When was the last time you got completely honest with yourself? When was the last time you sat down and said, this is where I'm weak. This is what I avoid. This is the truth I don't say out loud. Because the second you do that, everything starts to shift. You stop playing small. You stop hiding behind fake progress. You stop wasting time chasing external validation and start fixing the internal problems you've been ignoring. Weakness isn't the enemy. Denial is. You can fix what's broken. You can strengthen what's soft. You can build what's missing. But you can't do any of that until you face what's real. We all have blind spots. We all have patterns that hold us back. But you don't get better by pretending you've got it all figured out. You get better by owning every single part of you that needs work. It's not about shame. It's about responsibility. You don't speak honestly about your weaknesses to beat yourself up. You do it to wake yourself up. Because here's the truth. You already know the areas that are holding you back. You already know the habits that weaken your focus, the thoughts that keep you stuck, the fears that control your decisions. You know, and you've probably been running from them for a long time. That ends today. This is the moment you stop lying to yourself. This is the moment you strip away the ego, the pride, the excuses, and you meet yourself with honesty, raw, unfiltered, truthful. Because once you see your weaknesses clearly, you can begin to destroy them deliberately. Maybe you're inconsistent. Maybe you're easily distracted. Maybe you avoid hard work when nobody's watching. Maybe you care too much about what people think. Maybe you start strong but never finish. Maybe you live in your head instead of taking action. Whatever it is, name it, own it, expose it. You don't heal in the dark. You grow in the light. You become unstoppable when you can say, here's where I'm weak, and here's what I'm doing about it. The moment you stop protecting your ego is the moment you start building your future. Because weakness doesn't make you less valuable. Refusing to face it does. It takes strength to be honest with yourself. It takes character to say, I don't like this part of me, but I'm not going to pretend it doesn't exist. I'm going to confront it, challenge it, and work through it until it no longer controls me. And the more you do that, the more powerful you become. You stop fearing exposure. You stop hiding behind perfection. You stop performing for the world and start building something real within yourself. You stop needing to prove yourself because you've already done the internal work. It's not glamorous. Nobody applauds you for this. Nobody sees the battles you fight behind closed doors. But this is where your transformation begins. Not when you post your wins online, but when you face your failures alone. You want to build a better life. Start by building a better you. And that starts by getting clear about who you are right now. Not the filtered version, not the version you hope others believe, but the actual honest truth. What are you afraid of? What do you run from? What part of your life feels out of control? What weakness keeps showing up, sabotaging your progress, draining your energy, and keeping you average? Look at it. Say it out loud. Write it down. Call it by its name, because that's how you kill it. Weakness can't survive in the presence of consistent honesty. It thrives in silence. It lives in denial. It feeds off your unwillingness to face it. The moment you bring it into the open, you take away its power. That's where the change starts. Not with motivation, not with hype, not with some perfect plan, but with truth. Raw, real truth. There is no growth without self-awareness. You cannot improve what you refuse to admit. So if your life isn't where you want it to be, stop blaming circumstances. Stop blaming others. Go to the mirror. That's where the answers are. If you can say to yourself, I'm lazy and I need to fix it, you're already ahead of the people who keep pretending they're just waiting for the right time. If you can admit, I'm insecure and I let that control my decisions, you're already doing the work most people run from for their entire lives. If you can say, I procrastinate because I fear failure, you're facing the exact thing that has been quietly destroying your potential. That level of honesty is rare. That level of self-respect is powerful. And it's available to you right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. Because this is not about being perfect. It's about being real. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to stop lying about the questions. Because once you tell yourself the truth, the path becomes clear. You know what to fix. You know where to start. And most importantly, you know you're not helpless. You're in control. Even if you've made mistakes, even if you've failed, even if you've been lost, you are still the one who gets to decide what happens next. And if you want a different life, you need to become a different version of yourself. One that's built on clarity, not confusion. One that's rooted in action, not excuses. one that faces pain rather than escaping from it. Because the strongest version of you, the version that can handle pressure, execute consistently, and lead from the front, that version only emerges when you're willing to tear down the old version, brick by brick. And honesty is the first hammer. Speak to yourself like someone who matters. Not with fluff, not with fake encouragement, with truth, with accountability, with directness. Because if you really love yourself, you won't coddle yourself. You'll challenge yourself. If you really care about your future, you won't hide from your flaws. You'll eliminate them. If you really want peace, you won't keep suppressing your weaknesses. You'll turn them into strengths. And that starts with words, with the conversation you have with yourself every day. Because that's the voice that shapes your identity. That's the voice that builds or breaks your life. So talk to yourself like someone who's going somewhere. Speak truth, even when it stings. Speak clarity, even when it hurts. Because that kind of honesty is rare, and that kind of honesty will take you further than motivation ever could. And when you've faced the truth about your weaknesses, when you've exposed them, worked on them, and outgrown them, what's left is someone powerful, someone resilient, someone unstoppable. The world doesn't need more perfect people. The world needs more real people. People who've been through hell and built strength from it. People who stopped pretending and started evolving. Be one of those people. Look in the mirror today and tell yourself the truth, all of it. Not to break yourself, but to free yourself. You can't build a masterpiece on a lie. But if you start with truth, you can build anything. So start now and never stop. Number 5. Track your progress every night without skipping once. If you don't measure your progress, you will never escape the illusion that you're improving. Most people live in a loop. They wake up, grind through the day, and fall asleep thinking they've made moves, when in reality, they've been standing in the same place for months, maybe years. Why? Because they never stop long enough to reflect. They never ask themselves the hardest, most important question: did I actually get better today? There's a war happening every single day between who you are and who you want to become. And the only way to win that war is to track your moves, track your decisions, track your discipline, track your growth every night. No excuses, no skipping, no hiding. Because when you track your progress, you force yourself to be honest. And when you're honest, you get clarity. And with clarity, you can finally break the cycle that's kept you average. This is not about perfection. This is about awareness. This is about facing yourself every night with courage and asking, what did I do today that moved me closer to my goals? What did I do that held me back? What patterns am I repeating? What small victories did I win? What weaknesses took over? You can't lie to the page. You can't pretend you worked hard when your journal shows laziness. You can't fake momentum when you've got nothing written. That's why most people avoid tracking. It exposes the truth. But here's the twist. Once you stop avoiding the truth, you start rewriting your life. Think about this. Every champion tracks. Every great athlete, every elite performer, every person you admire, they all do it. Because they understand one thing most people ignore. Progress is invisible unless you document it. Growth hides in the details. Mastery is built in the margins of your day. If you don't write it down, it didn't happen. If you don't analyze, you can't adapt. If you don't reflect, you'll repeat the same patterns that have been silently destroying your momentum. You can't build a powerful life with a vague mindset. You need specifics. You need data. You need proof. You need to see on paper where your energy is going, where your time is being invested, and whether your habits are actually leading to results or just keeping you busy. And it only takes a few minutes. Just a few minutes each night. But most people won't do it. Not because it's hard, but because it's confronting. Because sitting down with your thoughts at the end of the day means you can't escape the reality of what you did with your hours. It means you have to face your inconsistencies, your wasted time, your emotional triggers, your slip-ups, your lack of discipline. But it also means you get to celebrate your wins. It means you get to track your evolution. It means you get to see, day by day, how your mindset is changing, how your habits are aligning, how your energy is shifting. And nothing fuels progress like visible proof that you're rising. The truth is, your future is hidden in your daily actions. And if you're not tracking those actions, you're gambling with your life. You're guessing. You're hoping. You're relying on motivation instead of systems, on feelings instead of facts. Every night you track, you create a feedback loop, and that loop makes you sharper. It makes you more intentional. It makes you see patterns you couldn't see before. You begin to notice what time of day you fall off track. You realize which environments fuel your best work. You understand which excuses keep showing up. And once you see those patterns, you can interrupt them. You can replace them. You can outgrow them. You become the scientist of your own evolution. You stop reacting to life and start engineering your growth. And let's talk about something most people ignore: confidence. Real confidence doesn't come from compliments. It comes from consistency. It comes from knowing, deep down, that you're showing up for yourself. That you're not just talking about it, you're living it. And when you track your actions every night, you build that confidence brick by brick. Every entry becomes a receipt for your future self. Proof that you're not just existing, you're evolving. People wonder why their life feels stuck, why their goals feel distant, why they feel like they're grinding but not growing. It's because they're not checking the scoreboard. They're not tracking the game. They're just running around the field hoping the effort will magically lead to a win. But life doesn't work like that. Success doesn't work like that. You need a system. You need a scoreboard. You need to know if what you're doing is working, or if it's time to pivot. And there's something even deeper here. When you track your progress every night, you begin to build trust with yourself. Most people don't trust themselves. They don't trust their own word. Why? Because they've broken so many promises to themselves. They've lost respect for who they are. But every time you write down your day, every time you hold yourself accountable, you're repairing that trust. You're telling yourself, I matter, my growth matters, my future matters, and I'm willing to do the work, even when no one sees it. That's where transformation begins, in the silence, in the solitude, in the sacred moment, where you face yourself at the end of the day and decide, once again, that you're not going back to the old you. This practice is not about judgment. It's about awareness. It's not about being hard on yourself. It's about refusing to live blind. You can't fix what you won't face, but if you track it, you can change it. So start now, tonight, before bed. Take out a notebook or open your phone and ask yourself, what did I do today that I'm proud of? Where did I slip? What triggered me? What did I avoid? What did I learn? What do I need to do better tomorrow? Write it all down. No filters. No edits. Just truth. And then do it again tomorrow. And the next day. And the next. Never skip. Not once. Because the moment you skip, you break the loop. You lose the data. You fall back into blindness. And that's when your old patterns creep back in. The ones that ruined your focus. The ones that drained your energy. The ones that stole your ambition and buried it under excuses. But if you stay consistent, if you commit fully, what happens next will shock you. You'll start making faster progress. You'll feel more in control. You'll notice you're no longer falling into the same traps. You'll feel stronger, more grounded, more disciplined. You'll begin to believe in yourself again, not because someone told you to, but because you have the evidence. You'll see the graph of your life slowly rising, and that feeling of watching yourself grow, it's addictive, it's electrifying, it's empowering, and it's earned. One entry at a time, one night at a time. This is the practice that separates the average from the elite, the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the builders. So ask yourself right now, do you want to change, or do you just want to feel better? Because if you want real change, measurable, irreversible growth, then stop guessing, stop hoping, stop going to bed with your progress unmeasured. Start tonight. No matter how tired you are, no matter how chaotic your day was, no matter how messy your life feels, open that journal, reflect with honesty, own your day, and commit to owning the next one even more. This is how you take back control. This is how you master your mind. This is how you move from wishful thinking to focused execution. Track your progress every single night, no matter what, because the people who win in life, the ones who rise, who dominate, who live with power and clarity, they don't hope they're growing. They prove it every damn day. Now go prove it to yourself tonight. Number 6, surround yourself with people who push you forward. If you surround yourself with people who keep you average, You'll never become who you were meant to be. Every single person in your life is either pushing you forward or pulling you backward. There's no neutral, and yet most people never stop to audit who they allow into their world. They walk through life wondering why they feel stuck, unmotivated, uncertain, when the answer is sitting right next to them. It's the friend who never grows. It's the partner who doesn't believe in them. It's the crowd that laughs at discipline and glorifies distraction. If you want to rise, you must first rise above your circle, because who you spend your time with is shaping who you become. Not tomorrow, not next year. Right now, your mindset is contagious. Your energy is influenced, your decisions are affected. If you spend your time with people who settle, who gossip, who avoid challenge, you will become someone who settles, who gossips, who avoids challenge. That's the law. And no amount of willpower will outlast a toxic environment. But here's the truth. Most people run from, you have to earn a powerful circle. You don't just stumble into a group that elevates you. You build yourself into someone they want around. You raise your standards. You start showing up with discipline. You talk less and execute more. You live your values without compromise. That's how you attract people who are on the same path. Because real winners don't chase attention. They chase growth. And when they see that same hunger in you, they respect it. It's easy to stay around the people who make you feel comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. If the people closest to you never challenge you, never call you out, never hold you accountable, you're not in a circle, you're in a cage. Think about the conversations you've had this week. Were they about progress, about goals, about pushing limits, or were they about other people, about complaints, about things outside your control? Because the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of your conversations. The people around you should be demanding more from you, not in a way that drains you, but in a way that wakes you up. They should be setting the bar higher, not making excuses lower. They should be pushing you to be sharper, more focused, more responsible for your growth. And this doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means creating boundaries that protect your energy. It means spending less time with those who drain your focus and more time with those who elevate your mission. If you don't guard your circle, you'll be infected by mediocrity, and you won't even notice it happening. I want you to remember something. Your future is being negotiated every time you say yes to the wrong people. Every moment you spend entertaining average conversations, you delay the life you're meant to live. You dilute your fire. You start playing small, and you become okay with being almost, but almost is a silent killer. Almost gets you to the door of your dream and convinces you to turn back. And when you surround yourself with people who live in almost, you will die with regret, because no one rises in an environment that doesn't challenge them. Look around you. Who in your circle is ahead of you in some way? Who forces you to think bigger? Who inspires you through their consistency, not their words? Who are you learning from? Who's stretching your potential? If the answer is no one, you have work to do. Start searching for people who are obsessed with growth, people who live in discomfort, people who have traded excuses for execution. You'll know them not by how loud they are, but by how consistent they are. They don't talk about what they're going to do. They've already done it, and being around them will feel uncomfortable. At first, because they reflect everything you've been avoiding. But that's the exact discomfort that transforms you. And here's the painful part. You might have to outgrow people you love, people who once made sense in your life, but don't anymore. That's not arrogance. That's evolution. Because not everyone is meant to go where you're going. And if you carry everyone, you'll never make it. You don't owe anyone your future. You owe it to yourself to become everything you're capable of. And sometimes that means letting go of those who are comfortable staying stuck. It's hard, but what's harder is wasting the next 5 years of your life because you couldn't break free from people who don't want more. Now picture the opposite. Picture being surrounded by people who are locked in on their goals, who track their progress, who are reading, learning, applying. People who ask tough questions, who don't tolerate your laziness, who don't applaud your excuses. That kind of circle forces you to level up. It forces you to evolve faster. It pulls you out of slumps before you even realize you're in one. That's power. That's alignment. That's the circle that sharpens your edge. Your circle should be a mirror of your standards. If your standards are high, your circle will reflect that. If your standards are low, your circle will keep you there. There is no shortcut. You must demand more from yourself first. You don't attract excellence with laziness. You don't attract discipline with inconsistency. You don't attract greatness by pretending to be someone you're not. You attract what you are. So become someone worth being around. Become so focused, so disciplined, so committed to your vision that you naturally start pushing away those who don't align, not out of hate, but out of purpose. When you get serious about your life, your circle will shift. The late night calls disappear. The gossip fades. The fake support reveals itself. But what you gain in return is everything. You gain alignment. You gain purpose. You gain momentum. And the right people will come. Not because you begged for them, but because you became magnetic to them. Because your actions spoke louder than your words. Because your progress spoke for itself. Start today. Do the audit. Who energizes you? Who distracts you? Who builds you? Who breaks your focus? Who pushes you to be better, even when it's uncomfortable? Be honest. Be ruthless. Be unapologetic about your growth. Because the truth is, your environment will either elevate your greatness or slowly destroy it. Choose your circle like your future depends on it. Because it does. If you feel alone right now, that's not a curse. That's a sign. It means you're growing. It means you're in the transition. It means your old life doesn't fit your new mindset. Don't run from that loneliness. Use it. Build yourself in the silence. And soon you'll attract a tribe that speaks your language. This journey is not about pleasing everyone. It's about becoming someone you're proud of. And that version of you, they don't have time for mediocrity. They don't tolerate average. They don't waste energy trying to fit into places they've outgrown. Surround yourself with warriors, with leaders, with thinkers, people who won't let you settle, people who see your potential before you even do, people who will call you out when you're playing small and cheer for you when you finally step into your power. Because when your circle is strong, your growth is unstoppable. Your setbacks become lessons. Your fears shrink. Your momentum builds. You start living like you were meant to live, without apology, without permission, without limits. So take control, build the circle, set the standard, elevate your environment, and watch how quickly your entire life changes. Don't wait. Start today. Your future is waiting, and it's only as powerful as the people you surround yourself with. Now go find your circle, or build it, but don't you dare settle for anything less. Number 7. Wake up earlier and start working on your goals. You're losing your future every time you hit snooze. While the world is still asleep, the most dangerous version of you is waiting to be unleashed. But only if you have the courage to rise before comfort calls you back under the covers. Every dream you've had, every breakthrough you crave, every ounce of confidence you wish you had, none of it will show up if you keep wasting your mornings. Because how you start your day shapes how you live your life. Waking up early is not about impressing anyone. It's about deciding you won't wait anymore. It's about reclaiming the hours that mediocrity steals from those who sleep through their purpose. And let's be honest, most people don't want to hear this. They want the motivation without the sacrifice. They want success, but not the self-discipline. They want results, but not the early mornings. That's why they stay stuck. That's why you won't. The silence of the morning is a secret weapon. When the noise of the world is still muted, you're left alone with the most important voice, your own. That's the time to check in. That's the time to build. That's the time to confront the excuses. Face your fears. And do the things you've been putting off. Not later. Not someday. Now you've got goals. But they mean nothing if your actions don't match them. You say you want to be great, but greatness doesn't show up after 10 a.m. You say you want more out of life, but more doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect time. You say you want clarity, but clarity is earned in the quiet, not in the chaos of rushing through a day that you never took control of. You think you're tired. You think you need more sleep. But most of the time you don't need rest. You need purpose. Because when you wake up with direction, you stop dragging yourself out of bed. You stop living for the weekend. You stop surviving. You start leading. You start building. You start aligning your habits with the life you say you want. There's a version of you who's built, sharp, confident, focused. They exist, but they're trapped behind the habits that sabotage your mornings. And the first step to reaching that version of yourself is to stop negotiating with laziness. Your bed won't build your legacy. Your phone won't unlock your future. Your excuses won't make your vision real, but your discipline will. Every morning is a test, not just of willpower, but of who you are becoming. Are you someone who shows up despite how you feel? Are you someone who honors their commitments in silence? Are you someone who would rather suffer now than regret later? That's what waking up early is. It's a choice to suffer for a purpose instead of suffer from regret. It's the moment you say, I'm done waiting. Do you want to know why most people never change? Because they don't start their day with ownership. They react. They wake up late. They rush. They check their phone. They dive straight into the noise and forget who they're supposed to be. That's how average happens. That's how purpose gets buried. That's how dreams become dust. But not you. Not anymore. When you start waking up early to work on your goals, something shifts inside you. You start proving to yourself that you can be trusted. You start feeling proud of your effort, not just your intentions. You start building a life that's driven by momentum instead of emotion. And once that switch flips, you become unstoppable. Because waking up early does more than give you time. It gives you power. Power over your schedule. Power over your thoughts. Power over the day. You stop chasing time, and time starts working for you. You begin the day from a place of leadership, not survival. And that energy follows you. It follows you into your work, into your relationships, into your mindset. You walk taller. You speak with clarity. You move with confidence. Because you know something they don't. While they were sleeping, you were getting stronger. And don't get it twisted. This isn't about perfection. There will be mornings where you don't feel like it, where the warmth of comfort tries to seduce you back into mediocrity. But that's the exact moment you grow. That's the moment you win. Not by feeling inspired, but by acting anyway. Because greatness isn't created in the big moments. It's forged in the small ones. In the dark hours. In the silence. In the repetition. In the decision to rise when no one is watching. That's what makes you dangerous. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop depending on a perfect plan. You become the kind of person who just shows up. And day by day, hour by hour, you begin to separate yourself. Not with words, but with action. You're no longer just dreaming. You're building. You're not hoping anymore. You're executing. You're not looking for shortcuts. You're doing the work others avoid. And the people around you will notice. They'll feel it. Your energy will shift. Your results will speak. And they'll ask what changed. You did when you stopped sleeping through your potential. If you want to wake up and feel inspired, then start waking up and acting with intention. You'll never feel like doing the hard things until you become the kind of person who does hard things, regardless. That identity is born in the hours you once wasted. And the reward, a version of you that feels dangerous again. A version of you that's fully awake, fully alive, fully locked in. You've wasted enough mornings. You've made enough excuses. You've watched other people pass you by and wondered what they're doing differently. Now you know they're up. They're building. They're focused before the world distracts them. They've made a choice, not once but every day. And so can you. It's not easy, but that's the point. The world will always try to pull you toward ease, toward comfort, toward average. But if you want more, you have to do what most people won't. And it starts with waking up early and doing what matters. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to chase your goals for you. No one's going to remind you every morning that you've got something to build. That's your job. That's your life. That's your responsibility. And if you start now, really start, you'll look back a year from today and barely recognize yourself. You'll see the discipline in your posture, the clarity in your eyes, the momentum in your life. And you'll know it started the moment you stopped wasting your mornings. So set your alarm. Get up. No delays. No justifications. No snoozes. Show the world what it looks like to be committed. Show yourself what it feels like to take control and never look back. This is your time. This is your morning. This is your life. Now go earn it. Number 8, face your fears by doing what scares you daily. Fear has been robbing you of your best life. Every single day you avoid what scares you. You shrink a little more from your potential. The truth is, fear doesn't disappear by wishing it away. It only fades when you stare it down, step into it, and refuse to back down. What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the courage to do the things that terrify you? Every day, countless people live beneath their true capabilities because they let fear dictate their choices. Maybe it's the fear of failure that paralyzes you. Maybe it's the fear of judgment, rejection, or uncertainty that chains you to comfort zones that don't belong to you. But here's the secret. No one tells you growth is impossible without discomfort, and discomfort is guaranteed when you confront fear directly. You've been trained to avoid pain, to run from what unsettles you, to numb yourself to anxiety. Society praises safety, predictability, and ease. But this chase after comfort has left you stuck in a cage built by your own hesitation. Meanwhile, the person you want to become is waiting on the other side of that cage, demanding you break free. The only way forward is through the fear itself. To do what scares you every single day is not just an exercise in bravery. It's a radical act of self-love. It's telling yourself you are bigger than your doubts, more powerful than your worries, and stronger than the voice inside that screams stop. Think about the last time fear held you hostage. How long did you stay frozen, trapped in your own mind? How many opportunities passed while you hesitated? How many moments of joy and triumph slipped away, simply because you chose to avoid the discomfort of stepping forward? Imagine what would happen if instead, you decided to meet fear head-on every day, to look it in the eyes with fierce determination and say, "I see you, but I will not let you stop me." The transformation wouldn't happen overnight, but every small victory over fear compounds into a force so powerful that nothing can stand in your way. Fear is a feeling, not a fact. It can't predict the future or dictate your destiny. The moment you begin acting in spite of fear, you reclaim control. The grip it has on you loosens with each courageous step you take. You begin to rewrite your story, one where fear is no longer the villain, but a stepping stone to greatness. The process isn't glamorous. It's raw, uncomfortable, and demanding. You'll feel your heart pounding, your mind racing, your muscles tense. But this is the real work. This is the forge where your character is made. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you build resilience, confidence, and a sense of empowerment that no one can take away. This isn't about reckless leaps into the unknown. It's about intentional, consistent challenges. Small acts that push you beyond your current limits. Maybe it's having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's applying for that job you think you're not ready for. Maybe it's speaking your truth when silence feels safer. These moments are your training ground. You'll stumble. You'll face setbacks. Fear will try to trick you into retreating. But each time you stand firm, you grow stronger. You develop a muscle for bravery, and that muscle begins to change how you see yourself and what you believe you're capable of. What's holding you back isn't the fear itself. It's the habit of running from it. When you break that habit, everything changes. Your mindset shifts. Your energy changes. You start attracting opportunities instead of avoiding them. Doors open that you didn't even know existed because you refuse to let fear block your path. Imagine waking up each day with the mindset that fear is your ally, not your enemy. That every uncomfortable moment is a sign you're growing. That doing the things that scare you is your new normal. This mindset revolutionizes your entire life. You become magnetic to success, not because luck favors you, but because you have learned to act despite the noise of fear. You become a beacon of courage for others who are still stuck in their own prisons. You rewrite the narrative of your life, not as a victim of fear, but as a warrior who wins by showing up. And here's the most beautiful part. This journey transforms not just your achievements, but your relationship with yourself. You stop judging your fear. You stop hating your doubts. You embrace your humanity, flaws and all, while refusing to let those flaws control your destiny. Each day you face fear, you become a little more free. You reclaim your power, your voice, your dreams. Fear loses its hold because it thrives in avoidance, and you refuse to avoid. You engage, you confront, you conquer. This path requires discipline. It demands that you look inward and identify what truly scares you, because fear often hides behind layers of excuses and distractions. Once uncovered, you confront it directly. You lean into the discomfort until it no longer has a voice loud enough to stop you. Don't wait for fear to disappear. It won't, but you can change your response. You can choose action over anxiety, courage over hesitation. You can build a life where fear is simply part of the process, not a permanent barrier. Picture yourself a year from now, stronger, bolder, more alive. You've done the work. You've faced the daily discomfort. You've pushed through the moments that once made you want to give up. And the reward, a life of fulfillment, freedom, and undeniable confidence. Now is the time. The moment to stop letting fear dictate your story. The moment to start doing what scares you daily, knowing that each step forward is a victory in itself. Your future self is begging you to be brave right now. Rise and meet fear head on. It's not just your challenge. It's your gateway to the life you've always wanted. Number 9, plan tomorrow's actions before going to sleep tonight. If you go to sleep without a plan, you're silently telling the universe you're okay with waking up lost. That's why most people wander through their days without direction. Because the night before, they never decided who they wanted to become by morning. They let life happen to them instead of stepping into the driver's seat. They hit snooze on their potential. Not just their alarm, but you're not most people. You're here because deep down you know that drifting isn't living. Existing isn't thriving. And success doesn't show up randomly. It shows up when you do, with purpose and clarity. Before the sun rises, your destiny is already being shaped by the decisions you make the night before. Every champion, every high performer, every game changer plans. They don't just hope for greatness. They prepare for it in silence while the world is sleeping. They don't leave tomorrow to chance. They build it, task by task, moment by moment, with a pen, a plan, and pure intention. You want to stop wasting time? Start planning it. You want to feel less overwhelmed? Take control the night before. You want to eliminate chaos? Replace it with clarity. You want to win your morning? Decide on your mission before your head hits the pillow. It sounds so simple. That's why most people ignore it. They underestimate the power of pre-deciding. They think life is about reacting. But those who rise, those who win, they act with deliberate focus. Planning your tomorrow before you sleep isn't about being rigid. It's about reclaiming your power. Because when you plan, you no longer wake up trying to remember what matters. You already know. You move with certainty, not confusion. You attack your priorities with energy, instead of wasting your mornings figuring out where to start. Most people are stuck at the starting line. You begin with momentum. Let me ask you something. How many days have passed where you didn't get done what really mattered? How many times have you gone to bed frustrated, knowing you didn't live up to your standards? That stops when you take 10 minutes tonight to prepare for tomorrow. That stops when you look at your future and say, I won't leave it to chance. Planning the next day gives you control over your mental state. It removes anxiety. It helps you sleep better. Why? Because the unknown becomes known. The chaos becomes a checklist. The overwhelming becomes organized. You trade stress for strategy. You trade confusion for conviction. Your mind no longer loops on everything you forgot, because you didn't forget. It's written down, ready, waiting for execution. And here's the real truth. Your dreams deserve a plan, not just passion, not just hope, a clear, structured plan. You can have all the desire in the world, but if you wake up without a map, you'll wander. And when you wander, you waste. Not just time, you waste energy, you waste potential, you waste your one shot at today. Planning before bed builds discipline. It's a ritual that says, I respect my time, I value my goals, I'm serious about progress. It becomes a contract with your future self. It's not glamorous, there's no applause for it, but it changes everything. Because tomorrow doesn't start when your alarm rings. It starts tonight with your decision to be intentional. The people who achieve massive results aren't necessarily smarter or more talented. They just refuse to begin their day without a blueprint. They treat their time like it's sacred, because it is. They don't wing it, they win it. And they win it by doing what most people avoid, sitting down, taking a breath, and asking, what does my best tomorrow look like? You don't need a fancy planner. You don't need a perfect strategy. You just need to commit. Take out a piece of paper. Open a blank note on your phone. Write down the 3 things that matter most for tomorrow. Block out time for them. Create space to move forward. Decide tonight who you will show up as when the world wakes up. There's magic in the quiet of the night. When the world slows down, you have a window, a moment to shape your path. Use it. Use it to break patterns. Use it to build momentum. Use it to anchor yourself in action before distraction even has a chance. When you plan ahead, your day begins with power. You don't wait to react. You walk into the morning already clear. You know what you're doing. You know why. That kind of energy, it multiplies. It elevates everything. Your mood, your output, your focus. It makes you unstoppable before the day even begins. And this isn't just about productivity. It's about identity. The person who plans the night before is the person who's serious about becoming more. It's about proving to yourself, in those final moments before sleep, that you are not drifting through life. You are directing it. You are not leaving your potential up to chance. You are choosing it, shaping it, commanding it. Think of all the time you've lost scrambling in the morning, all the energy you've wasted deciding on the fly. Think of all the days that blurred together because you didn't define your intention. That ends now. No more hoping for productivity. No more reacting to other people's priorities. No more wasting mornings that could have been powerful. Tonight, when it's quiet, when the noise of the day fades, make a new promise. Not to be perfect, not to do everything, but to lead yourself, to define your direction, to prepare with intention, to rise. And when you wake up, you won't have to guess where to begin. You'll move with clarity, with certainty, with purpose, because you've already decided what matters. You've already chosen your priorities. You've already said to the world, I am not available for distractions. I am not starting from zero. I am here to win. This simple habit, practiced daily, will change how you live. It will compound into mastery. It will make you reliable to yourself. It will build trust within. Because every night you choose to plan, you are choosing growth. You are choosing order over chaos. You are choosing the life you want, not the one that happens by default. So don't underestimate the quiet power of tonight. Don't dismiss the importance of 10 focused minutes. That's all it takes to wake up different. That's all it takes to shift from reactive to proactive, from drifting to dominating. Your goals aren't waiting for you to feel ready. They're waiting for you to get organized, to take control, to become the type of person who honors their vision by preparing for it. And that starts with one small act. Planning tomorrow, tonight. You want to change your life. Don't wait for the morning. Begin tonight, right now. Because success doesn't begin at sunrise. It begins the moment you stop treating your time like it doesn't matter. Take out the pen. Open your notes. Write the plan. Commit. Sleep with intention. Wake up with power. And never again let another day start without a mission. Your time is too valuable. Your dreams are too real. Your life is too important. Plan it. Own it. Live it. Number 10. Push yourself to grow when it feels uncomfortable. Growth never happens inside your comfort zone. It happens the second you step into the fire and refuse to back down. There's a moment we all face, a split-second choice between shrinking back into safety or stretching into the pain of progress. And most people, they flinch, they retreat, they choose comfort. But comfort is a trap dressed as peace. It whispers lies to you, telling you you're okay where you are, that you've done enough, that maybe pushing harder isn't necessary. But here's the truth. The life you want, the power you crave, the version of you that you dream about, it only exists on the other side of discomfort. Nothing meaningful has ever been achieved in a place of ease. Every great transformation, every hero, every comeback, every breakthrough was forged in pressure, struggle, and emotional resistance. You don't become unbreakable by feeling good. You become unbreakable by choosing to show up when it's hard. when your mind screams quit, when your body wants rest, when your heart feels fear. That's when it counts. Think about this. How many times have you stopped yourself just because something felt unfamiliar? How many opportunities did you walk away from because your comfort zone was louder than your courage? That's not living. That's surviving. And if you're watching this, it's because you're done with just surviving. You want to evolve. You want to rise. And evolution always comes with friction. Most people pray for progress, but reject the pain required to get there. They say they want to grow, but the second it burns, they walk away. They treat discomfort like a warning sign, instead of what it really is, a green light. A signal that you're entering territory you've never been in before. Territory where change happens. Territory where old identities die and new power is born. Let me be real with you. Growth is not sexy. It's not a motivational quote. It's not morning affirmations and feel-good vibes. It's ugly. It's lonely. It's that internal war where you're tempted to give up, but choose to endure. It's the silence of the grind when no one's cheering. It's the tears you cry alone after failing, but still showing up the next day. It's the courage to keep going when every fiber of you wants to stop. That's where the shift happens, in the resistance, in the struggle, in the messy, uncertain moments when you decide, I'm not backing down from this. Every time you lean into that discomfort, you break the version of you that was holding you back. You chip away at limitation. You destroy weakness, and you give birth to someone stronger, wiser, more capable. But here's the catch. Growth doesn't ask for permission. It won't wait until you're ready. It won't come politely. It arrives through challenge. It enters your life through difficulty, through fear, through the unknown. And if you keep running from those things, you will stay the same. Your life will look the same. Your habits will repeat. Your dreams will rot in the basement of maybe someday. You want more. You've got to face the tension that comes with transformation. That feeling of stretching when you're not sure you can go further. That's not your limit. That's your invitation. That's life saying, are you willing to be uncomfortable long enough to become who you say you want to be? Because make no mistake, your comfort zone is not your friend. It's a thief. It steals potential. It locks away your ambition. It makes you forget what you're capable of. It wraps you in fake peace while quietly draining your fire. And the longer you stay there, the harder it becomes to remember that you're meant for more. But discomfort, it sharpens you. It humbles you. It teaches you. It's your training ground. You don't become powerful in the absence of struggle. You become powerful by choosing to rise inside of it. You build resilience by staying in the room when it gets hard. You earn confidence by doing what scares you. You develop mental toughness by sitting in the storm and refusing to run. You can't bypass this. You can't shortcut the path to strength. You have to go through it. You have to choose growth over ease. You have to stop seeking comfort and start seeking challenge. Not because you enjoy the pain, but because you love who it's turning you into. Every time you wake up and face what scares you, every time you take action despite resistance, every time you lean into the edge of your limits, you are casting a vote for your future. You are becoming someone new, someone dangerous, someone disciplined, someone the old version of you wouldn't even recognize. And the world won't hand you that transformation. It won't be gifted to you just because you wish for it. It will only show up when you stop backing away from what's hard. When you embrace the struggle as the path. When you push into discomfort with the mindset of a warrior, knowing that pain is not your enemy, it's your compass. This is the part where most people give up. This is the place where goals die, where dreams are abandoned because growth asks something heavy from you. It demands that you let go of who you were. It requires emotional endurance. It forces you to level up in silence, with no guarantee of applause. And that's why it works. Because what is earned through pain can never be taken from you. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop hoping it gets easier. Stop wishing for growth without pressure, and start embracing the hard things, the awkward things, the unfamiliar things. Start seeing discomfort not as a problem, but as a sign that you're doing something right, that you're stepping into expansion. If it feels uncomfortable, that's exactly where you need to go. Because nothing great was ever built without tension. No transformation ever happened without discomfort. You don't get the reward without the risk. You don't get the breakthrough without the battle. Remember this, every level of your life will demand a different version of you, and that version won't be born in comfort. It will be born in the fire, the pressure, the resistance. So don't pull back, push forward, lean in, embrace the burn, let it mold you, let it build you. And when you feel like giving up, remind yourself, this pain is not here to break me. It's here to shape me. It's here to carve out the greatness I've been running from. I don't grow when I'm comfortable. I grow when I'm challenged. I grow when I stay. I grow when I fight. So fight. Show up even when it's hard. Push through, even when it hurts. Trust that every ounce of discomfort is building something inside you that ease never could. And when it's all said and done, you'll look back not with regret, but with pride, knowing that you didn't take the easy road. You took the one that changed you. Now get up, face the resistance, step into the discomfort, push past the limits, because that's where the real you is waiting. And don't stop, don't pause, don't hesitate. Every time you lean into the fire, you are becoming untouchable. So keep going, grow through the pain, become the person you were born to be. This is your moment. This is your test. Rise through it. Let discomfort be your teacher. Let growth be your reward, and never look back.